Lord, Lord Little E. The many elven warriors protected by Little E's power stared at him in distress. Their pores expanded, and their bloodlust erupted uncontrollably, eyes reddening with a vow to fight these bastards to the death. Among the Fire Spirit clan, there have always been numerous branches. If not for Little E's leadership, the people of their southern tribe would have been completely consumed by the other two tribes long ago. Lord. No. Elven woman Lena's body surged, and in an instant, she crawled to Little Ye's side. She was the first to notice that the purple flames on Little Ye's body were showing signs of collapsing. Her soft body suddenly lunged toward him, and her voice was choked with emotion. Lena, let go of me. Little Ye's face changed dramatically, but all the power within him surged almost simultaneously. The intensity of the energy fluctuation was so great that, aside from self-detonation, there seemed to be no other choice. With the power of the reincarnation seal, purple flames, and the self-detonation from the perfect 8-star Dosian, the destruction could likely shake heaven and earth. Little E, do you remember the oath you made to me? Without my order, I will not allow you to die. Lena's eyes were bloodshot, and she forced back sobs as she raised her delicate hand, fiercely grasping Little Ye's wrist in an attempt to stop him from self-destructing. Don't worry, I will never break my promise to you, but I'm afraid it will have to wait until next time. Little Ye's voice was unusually gentle, yet the aura within him was like a volcanic crater about to erupt. Everyone saw Little Ye's body begin to swell and twist. Purple flames surged out, scorching the entire elven island, creating a dazzling purple glow, and within it was an indescribable, terrifying fluctuation. You damn liar. Tears streamed down Lena's face, her eyes bloodshot. She desperately wanted to break free from Little Ye's hold, but she had no way to do so. She could only helplessly feel the soft force pushing them all toward the spatial clouds. That action was clearly Little E attempting to use his own life to block the Chieftain Elder's attack, protecting them all to escape from here. To trade your life for the survival of the entire tribe, truly a wise ruler. However, today, no matter what abilities you possess, you cannot escape your fate. The Chieftain Elder's eyes flashed with cold light. He deeply despised Little Ye's actions. His body moved with lightning speed, and a glowing rune with brown patterns appeared in his palm, surging toward Little E. Boom! Little E used all his strength to try and send everyone away, but in the face of the Chieftain Elder's terrifying strike, his face twisted with agony. A deathly aura surrounded him. Die! Little Ye's formidable defense and the terrifying energy from his self-detonation did nothing to stop the Chieftain Elder for even a moment. The Chieftain Elder raised his palm and struck at Little Ye's crown. The attack was so powerful that the surrounding void hummed with the force. Poof! With a sharp, chilling sound, Little Ye's body suddenly turned cold. His blood froze, and his consciousness began to blur. The purple flames within the reincarnation seal surged uncontrollably, seemingly about to explode at any moment. At that moment, the space around Little E suddenly tore open, and a green object rapidly expanded in their sight, enveloping Little E. With the protection of this object, the pressure on Little E greatly diminished. Clang, clang, clang. The Chieftain Elder struck down, but the attack that could easily annihilate Little E hit something as hard as a stubborn rock. No energy ripple was released, and the Chieftain Elder even felt a painful recoil from his hand. What is this? The Chieftain Elder's face was filled with confusion. The green object around Little E exceeded his expectations. His body retreated rapidly, his eyes scanning the surroundings. Whoever could deploy such a powerful defense was certainly no simple opponent. Chieftain, according to the guard's communication, someone seems to be rushing here, their identity unknown, but one of Little Ye's 3 main guards, Xiao, is with them. However, all the guards we sent to protect the southern tribe have been knocked out. Conservatively estimating, the newcomers should be reincarnation-level experts, and they are likely reinforcements from the southern tribe. The elven guards coming from the front looked alarmed, vigilantly scanning the surrounding void, which began to tremble, as if some figure was quickly breaking through the air toward them. The Southern Tribe's army has already been captured and controlled by us. There shouldn't be any other reinforcements. This is strange. The Chieftain Elder waved his hand, halting the battle here. From within that cyan aura, he felt a long-forgotten sense of fear rising within him. Die, kid. Upon hearing these words, Mole didn't think much of it. Eager to claim credit, his figure leaped into the air, immediately heading toward Little E with murderous intent. In his eyes, the cyan object around Little E seemed nothing more than a trivial defensive barrier. As long as he captured Little E, it would be his first achievement, and such opportunities were rare. Damn it! Seeing Mole charging at him, Little E coldly responded. His internal fighting energy surged, and he covered his skin with purple flames, forming an energy garment in an attempt to resist. The force of his self-detonation also quieted down. It seemed the cyan object before him resembled a turtle shell, and there was a faintly familiar aura emanating from it. What on earth was it? Die! Mole formed his hand into a claw, launching a terrifying attack aimed at Little E. The grin on his lips was that of a madman, sending a shiver down anyone's spine. Crack! Using dirty tricks doesn't make you a fire spirit. Two beams of light suddenly flashed from the distance. In an instant, Mole's body was kicked hundreds of meters away by a cyan figure, his bones shattering with an ear-piercing crack that reverberated across the land. At this moment, the entire battlefield fell silent. A single kick that could send an 8-star Docian expert flying like an ant. Who could this be? Poof! Mole, caught off guard, was sent flying by a single kick, his body battered and broken, on the brink of death. The sight filled the warriors of the Western Tribe with fear. When did the Southern Tribe have such a terrifying expert? The nearly 100 people left in the Southern Tribe were just as stunned, full of questions about the sudden appearance of this mysterious figure. At this moment, both sides, without warning, ceased their attacks. They looked up at the horizon, where the sound of wind rushing grew louder. Along with it came the silhouette of a thin man dressed in black. The slender figure exuded a power that sent chills through everyone present. This unexpected turn of events brought a subtle change to what had seemed like a one-sided battle. Not only were the Western Tribe warriors confused, but even those left in the Southern Tribe seemed utterly stunned. It appeared they were completely unaware of what was happening, and it far exceeded their expectations. No one dared make a move, all eyes on the figure in the sky, whose power was unlike anything they had ever sensed. The pressure radiating from him made the fire spirit warriors' hearts tremble. Himph! Serve you right for showing off. Seeing that Little E was unharmed, Lena's face relaxed slightly. She opened her arms, stepping protectively in front of him. Her actions made it clear that their relationship was far from ordinary. Hey, miss, I'm still the commander of our Southern Tribe, you know? At this moment, Little E could only helplessly speak in an affectionate tone, but his mind was full of confusion. This sudden appearance seemed strangely familiar. I don't care. I don't care. Lena continued with her usual willfulness, pouting. The elven aura she exuded was far more powerful than that of other elven women. Though her strength was lacking, her status was clearly not low. The thin figure in black quickly arrived. Upon appearing, he gave a cold glance around, then his eyes fixed on Little E and Lena, as if with some other intention. Who is this human? Looking for death? The two 8-star Docian warriors beside the chieftain of the Western Tribe shouted angrily at the man in black. As soon as the words left their mouths, they launched a powerful attack, fists and kicks aimed at him, their terrifying power making the very air seem to tremble. My lord, be careful. These two are 8-star Docian experts. Little E could only feel a strange familiarity in the aura of the man in black. However, blocked by the black cloak, he couldn't determine his true identity. He could only warn. Poof! Behind the man in black, a violent soul shadow materialized. His fist curled into a claw, amber flames swirling around it. He swung his claw directly at the two elven warriors, enduring their attacks head-on. Crack! The seemingly fearsome attacks from the two elven warriors were easily dissipated by the man in black's amber-colored claw strike. Hiss! A burning pain lingered on their faces, blood and amber flames mixing, making their hearts tremble in fear. Sir, this is a matter of the Fire Spirit Clan. We kindly request you to. Seeing this, two reincarnation-level experts stepped forward, their voices filled with clear warnings. The black robe of the man in the black cloak was instantly consumed by amber flames, leaving only his body. In his pitch-black eyes, an endless fury spread out. Get out of my way. The flame of the sacred flame surrounded his fist, and he threw a punch at the two figures in front of him. Clang, clang, clang. Seeing this, the two reincarnation elders acted simultaneously, engaging in battle with Xiao Yan. The three of them clashed like three stubborn rocks, but the power emanating from Xiao Yan's fists created numerous fierce winds along the way, causing the two reincarnation elders to wear extremely grim expressions. If it were just the terrifying power in the fists, the two reincarnation elders could naturally handle it with ease. However, the amber flames that appeared on his fists immediately scorched the entire void, turning it into nothingness. The terrifying aura within made their hearts heavy with dread, which is why they found themselves in a difficult situation, being driven into a corner by Xiao Yan's attacks. Glup! What kind of guy is this? Looking at the strange flames and immense power that actually forced the two reincarnation elders into a defensive circle, the onlookers were astonished. I found you, and you're not injured, right? After causing a huge commotion that shocked the Western tribes' powerhouses, Xiao Yan quietly retreated, rushing to Little Yi's side. He patted her shoulder, and the smile on his face was warm and tender. Lena looked at Xiao Yan's actions and then at Little Yi, who, surprisingly, did not push him away. A look of doubt appeared on her face. Hey, you little brat, you're stealing from the inside out, huh? This sister-in-law is quite nice. Ha ha ha. Lena's small gestures didn't escape Xiao Yan's perception, and he burst out laughing. Second brother, you? Little Yi looked puzzled, but there was a trace of exhaustion in her voice. Since when had it been that whenever Xiao Yan was by her side, she felt so at ease, even as if she wasn't afraid of the sky falling. Though she had changed greatly since then, that feeling still existed. After all, without Xiao Yan's various actions, Little Yi might still look like the fire spirit, and back then, Xiao Yan, Little Yi, and Long Yi used to refer to each other as brothers according to their ages, which explained the scene now. You too, rest well? Leave the rest to me. Xiao Yan smiled gracefully, his body stepping in front of the two, his confidence on full display. As for Little Yi, with the protection of the Baxia body, unless an ancient monster from the Fire Spirit Clan intervened, no current reincarnation-level powerhouse could harm them. Ugh, who's this? Lena's face turned a rare shade of red after Xiao Yan teased her. It looked like a sunset flame, but she was secretly delighted. This is my second brother, Xiao Yan. Little Yi scratched her head and grinned. A long-lost smile of relief appeared in her voice. I guess you do have some taste. Lena pouted and smiled, but still stood in front of Little Yi. Second brother, this guy is the chieftain of the Western tribe. His status and power are only second to Alice, so be careful. His strength has reached the first-tier reincarnation stage. After weighing it for a moment, Little Yi reminded Xiao Yan. Leave this guy to me. Can the other elven warriors handle it? Of course, I'm talking about all the hostile elves who attacked your tribe today. Don't let any of them escape. Xiao Yan spoke softly, but the towering fury in his voice was already unstoppable. These people had dared to break the Fire Spirit Clan's rules and attack Little Yi and others in the southern tribe. Xiao Yan naturally wasn't going to let them off easily. Understood. Little Yi, along with the two reincarnation elders and the others, spoke with a sense of shared determination. With Xiao Yan's arrival, they saw new hope. Let's go. I've heard of the Fire Spirit Clan's extraordinary fire techniques. Let me learn them well today. After Xiao Yan spoke, his aura surged, and the amber flames around him swirled gently. The void around him shook violently. What? Mid-8-star dose yin strength? Is this guy really trying to play the underdog? The people from the Western tribe, upon witnessing Xiao Yan's terrifying aura and exact power, were left utterly stunned. The sacred flame. No wonder I felt such a strong sense of unease. I just wonder which one of the sacred flames he has. The Chieftain Elder narrowed his eyes, staring at the amber flames on Xiao Yan's body. Even though Xiao Yan was trying his best to suppress his aura, the secret of his flames was still clearly exposed. The Fire Spirit clan specializes in fire techniques, and while they have a unique understanding of fire power, their flames are still incomparable to the sacred flame. They are still far behind in comparison. Go all out and defeat them as quickly as possible. The Chieftain Elder's body was engulfed by brown flames that swirled and faintly transformed into countless intricate, obscure patterns, winding around his body, gradually unleashing the terrifying power of his reincarnation level. My lord, are you being overly cautious? The two reincarnation elders looked at the Chieftain Elder, surprised that he was using such a terrifying flame power, hesitating. They were barely at reincarnation level, and both their combat experience and instincts were far inferior to that of the Chieftain Elder. Foolish, the Chieftain Elder sneered. The flames on this man are sacred flames. You cannot be deceived by the surface. The power of a sacred flame master is far beyond what it seems. Strike. As the last word was spoken, the Chieftain Elder's body soared into the air, instantly shooting towards Xiao Yan's position in the sky. The force he carried caused the surrounding energy to dim faintly. Boom buzz. Everyone saw two afterimages, moving at breakneck speed, stirring up tremendous waves of energy in the air. Lightning-like firestorms raged from the two figures in the sky, a level of battle that was truly life-and-death combat. Gulp. Is this guy really at the mid-8-star Dosian level? That's terrifying. Lina looked at the two battling in the sky, especially as Xiao Yan, despite his strength, was able to hold his own against the Chieftain Elder, who was at the first-tier reincarnation level. Her small eyes glowed with disbelief. The reincarnation level's power was truly strategic in the Great Thousand Worlds. That was why there were many 8-star Dosian masters in the Fire Spirit clan, but few could reach reincarnation. The power of reincarnation was capable of destroying the world. So why did Xiao Yi, the so-called second brother, make this terrifying level of power seem so trivial? Was the Chieftain Elder's reincarnation level too weak? Second brother's power can't be judged by common sense. Back when he was still a Do-Di, fighting beyond his level was a daily occurrence. Now, with the enhancement of sacred flame power, he is probably more than capable of matching the Chieftain Elder. Lina, gather the forces and fight to the death with the Western clan. Understood. Lina grinned. Then her internal power surged as she led the remaining tribe warriors to attack the Western clan in an attempt to alleviate the pressure on Xiao Yan. Although the battle strength of the two tribes wasn't equal, after the Southern tribe issued a rallying signal, several Southern tribe elven warriors quickly rushed to the scene. The Sacred Flame Master truly lives up to the reputation. After a brief exchange, the Chieftain Elder highly praised Xiao Yan. Although they were only testing each other's strength initially, the Chieftain Elder discovered that whenever his attacks hit Xiao Yan, they made no impact and were instead devoured by Xiao Yan's sacred flame. Even Xiao Yan's lean body seemed to exude an ominous sense of power, as though his physical strength had broken through the limits of the heavens. With this, he realized that dealing with Xiao Yan would require a great deal of effort, and no wonder this guy had the audacity to face him head-on. Boom! At the same time, Xiao Yan's skin rippled with energy as a brilliant pale yellow flame erupted from his body. As his toes tapped the void, a golden giant shot into the sky. Immortal golden body. As Xiao Yan's body swept across the heavens, his palm flipped, and the profound yellow flame enveloped him, forming a burst of golden fire. Behind him, the space twisted, and a massive golden giant, 100 feet tall, knelt quietly. Xiao Yan knew how powerful the reincarnation level was, so he started with the immortal golden body technique. Not only would it reduce the pressure on the other elven warriors, but it was also preparing for his battle with a first-tier reincarnation level opponent. Though it's a bit surprising today, you have chosen the wrong side. By the princess's command, today we must wipe out the southern tribe, so die, Chieftain Elder. Killing intent flickered in the Chieftain Elder's eyes as flames surged along his long arm, forming visible fiery sigils. These sigils resembled ancient fire creatures, brimming with boundless terrifying power. Sacred Fire Spirit Palm. From within the brown flames and sigils, dazzling brown energy erupted and converged in the Chieftain Elder's palm. A tiny brown palm print, no bigger than an inch, began to form. Whoosh! The brown fire palm shot out, causing an explosion in the air as countless fiery sigils surged toward Xiao Yan, both the brown palm and the sigils carrying a terrifying fluctuation that suppressed the surrounding space and Xiao Yan's internal energy. Xiao Yan snorted coldly, his eyes filled with boundless coldness. The amber flames on his body silently fell onto the golden giant, and a towering flame giant, carrying an ancient and mysterious fluctuation, intertwined with the Fire Spirit Elder's incoming flame palm. Bang! 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 A series of sensations, sharp enough to make one's scalp tingle, spread from the center of the battle. The violent energy overflowed in all directions. The intensity of this battle left even some powerful individuals, who had just entered reincarnation level, in a daze. This guy's strength is not to be underestimated. I can only try that move now. Flame Mantra. Merge. Angry Buddha. Fire Lotus. Xiao Yan suddenly lifted his head. His body moved like a ghost, constantly evading the Fire Spirit Elder's fierce attacks. He had made up his mind and immediately began his actions. The sacred flame inside this guy's body is chaotic and disorderly. According to my clan's records on the sacred flame list, no sacred flame has ever looked like this. Moreover, this guy's appearance is quite strange. What is he trying to do? The Fire Spirit Elder's eyes swirled as he watched Xiao Yan's actions with confusion. Flames, huh? What's going on? As Xiao Yan gathered the Fire Lotus as he usually did, the small fire cauldron in front of him suddenly emitted a brilliant pulling force, absorbing the sacred flame essence overflowing from Xiao Yan's body. Is this for real? After carefully sensing it, Xiao Yan's heart leaped with joy. It seemed that stepping into the first stage of the flame mantra had slightly awakened the power of this fire cauldron. Now, during battle, as long as he injected sacred flame energy into it, it seemed to automatically condense and merge into the Angry Buddha Fire Lotus. This was practically custom-made for his own growth. Boom, boom. The battle between Xiao Yan and the Fire Spirit Elder sent massive ripples of energy crashing along the edge of the Elven Island, shaking the void. Such a level of combat was a rare occurrence in the relatively isolated Fire Spirit territory. Little E, Big Brother's situation doesn't seem too good. Lena and Little E joined forces, their purple flames showing signs of merging. This allowed them to repel their strong enemies, buying some time. As they watched Xiao Yan being relentlessly pursued by the Fire Spirit Elder in the sky, Lena quickly spoke up. Don't worry. Since Big Brother is here, he must have a plan. Our immediate priority is to stop the other elven warriors from the Western tribe. We absolutely cannot give Big Brother any additional burden. Little E glanced coldly at the battle between Xiao Yan and the Fire Spirit Elder, the aftershocks from such a level of combat making his eyelids twitch. He then looked at the many strong figures of the Western tribe before snorting. As soon as his words fell, the purple flames around both of them surged even more violently. They soon merged into a fierce battle, with the purple flames showing immense power, far surpassing regular fire. Boom, boom. The Fire Spirit Elder raised a finger, and a mysterious fluctuation spread. Brown flames swirled around his fingertip, predicting where Xiao Yan would land next. He pointed, and the massive brown flame finger tore through the sky, crashing into Xiao Yan's body. Creak. At the same time, Xiao Yan, focused on channeling the sacred flame essence into the fire cauldron, was hit by the strike. His immortal golden body shrank rapidly. Although there was no sign of it breaking, the terrifying shockwave radiated out from his immortal golden body, causing Xiao Yan to feel dizzy. The first-tier reincarnation stage truly is extraordinary, but this ends here. Angry Buddha Fire Lotus. Xiao Yan roared, and the fire cauldron shook slightly, instantly appearing in his palm. At the same time, a beautifully crafted fire lotus, carrying a vast amount of energy, quietly rested in his hand. Even though the Lotus hadn't yet released its power, the aura contained within it was heavy enough to make everyone in this space feel an overwhelming pressure. Grumble. What is this power? The Fire Spirit Elder's pupils contracted sharply, his gaze filled with astonishment, his eyes locked on the fire cauldron in Xiao Yan's palm. Since the fire cauldron had appeared, a strong sense of fear had surged within the Fire Spirit Elder's body. Even though he knew that Xiao Yan's sacred flame was highly restraining against him, the gap in their power was too great, and he thought no amount of sacred flame could bridge that gap. This was why he had been determined to attack. 5-colored angry Buddha Fire Lotus. Xiao Yan slowly raised his hand. The small, delicate lotus in his palm unfolded like a black hole, slowly blooming with endless fiery pressure. The vast, surging 5-colored flames rippled outward from Xiao Yan's center. Inside the flames were several vastly different powers. As soon as they appeared, the previously stable void shook violently, and even the previously present purple flames trembled wildly. At this moment, the Chieftain Elder's face finally froze completely. With his vast experience, he knew exactly how terrifying the strength of Xiao Yan's attack was. Fire Spirit Flame. Sensing the near-destroying 5-colored Fire Lotus from Xiao Yan, the Chieftain Elder's face turned cold. A rare gleam flashed in his eyes, and all his internal power surged. Brown flames erupted from his body, coalescing into a 1,000-foot-tall energy soul shadow that roared like a beast as it charged forward. Boom! 2 immense waves of energy clashed violently in the air. Even those fighting at a great distance could clearly feel the spine-chilling pressure from this clash. Gulp. Is this really the power of a human at the 8-star Dosian level? Sensing the unprecedented destructive energy spreading, both sides' elven warriors instinctively stopped fighting. They united to form an energy barrier, attempting to block the spread of the two forces. It's not over yet. Explode for me. Watching the brown flames and the 5-colored lotus reach a standoff, Xiao Yan's voice rang out like that of a demon, filling the entire space. Not good. Hearing Xiao Yan's voice, the Chieftain Elder's pupils shrank violently, his vision blurring. His reincarnation power and brown flames rushed out together, forming a brown river of energy to try to stop the Fire Lotus from self-destructing. Boom! No matter how the Chieftain Elder tried to handle it, the Fire Lotus, under Xiao Yan's control, suddenly exploded. The surging power descended from the sky, scorching the once stable void into a chaotic mess. The dazzling 5-colored flames emitted a strong aura of decay and withering. Under their power, it seemed like both the void and the life of the elven warriors would easily deteriorate. Stay. Sensing the Chieftain Elder's slight retreat, Xiao Yan's body was infused with numerous powers, transforming him into a blazing fire meteor that streaked toward the center of the explosion, attempting a deadly strike against the Chieftain Elder. The information Alice provided wasn't accurate. In the Western tribe, there were several reincarnation-level experts. However, the Chieftain Elder at the first-tier reincarnation level was undoubtedly one of the most powerful figures in the Western tribe. If Xiao Yan could imprison him, it would deal a devastating blow to the Western tribe. Arrogant fool, don't get carried away. Just as Xiao Yan moved to deliver his most powerful strike, a light, butterfly-like figure cut through the sky and appeared before countless elven eyes. A voice filled with fury resonated from her energy body. What is this? When that captivating voice sounded, Xiao Yan felt a momentary daze. Countless gazes turned upward, and then an energy-formed butterfly-like woman appeared out of nowhere above the Chieftain Elder. Under everyone's watch, she slowly stretched out her slender jade hand and pressed down on the destructive aura from the 5-colored Fire Lotus below. Boom! Countless butterfly shadows spilled from her energy body, immediately intertwining with the erupting 5-colored Fire Lotus. The butterfly shadow soared, unleashing a terrifying heat comparable to the sacred flame, evaporating the sacred flame energy that threatened to destroy the space. Retreat. After completing this, the energy butterfly shadow seemed to have exhausted all her strength and dissipated easily. However, The command in her voice left even the chieftain elder no choice but to obey. Creak. As her voice faded, the energy body vanished without a trace. Damn human. Western tribe, retreat? The chieftain elder glanced at Xiao Yan, little E, and the others with regret before waving his hand. The elven warriors of the Western tribe quickly departed from the area. What was that just now? Xiao Yan was puzzled. The butterfly-like woman that had vanished in a flash surely contained great power. That was the commander of the Western tribe, Alice. She is at the first-tier reincarnation level. It is said that even some of the second-tier elders of the Fire Spirit clan cannot defeat her. Little E approached and explained. All right, since the crisis is over, let's clean up here. Once you're done, it's time to compete for the Fire Spirit clan. After all, I came here specifically to help you. Xiao Yan smiled, his voice filled with rare relief and satisfaction. The battle between the Western and Southern tribes had come to a temporary end. After nearly a month of rest, the Southern tribe had regained its strength, while the Western tribe had yet to make any moves. As for Alice and the others, they were imprisoned in the Southern tribe. At the Southern tribe's elven stronghold, in a forest cabin, everything was neat and clean, and there was a faint, pleasant fragrance lingering in the air. Watching little E and Lena help each other as they walked in, Xiao Yan teased them, but he couldn't help stealing a glance at Lena, the princess of the Fire Spirit royal family. She was completely different from when she was in battle. Today, she wore a green herb skirt, wrapped in mist, and draped in a light, translucent veil. A faint fragrance spread through the air. Her skin was as smooth as jade, and her aura was as delicate as an orchid in the wind. Charmingly ethereal, yet captivating. Indeed, she was worthy of being the princess of the Fire Spirit clan, exuding an aura and mysterious power that commanded respect. Yes, everything is handled for now, Little E said with a long-awaited smile. The major issues of the Southern tribe had been settled, and she could finally rest here while waiting for the next step. Princess Lena, greetings to brother Xiao Yan. Lena bent slightly, greeting Xiao Yan respectfully. However, she always stayed closely behind Little E, looking extremely attached. Let's talk about the current situation. It seems the Southern tribe is not in a good place, Xiao Yan said, choosing not to focus on the couple for now, and instead asking about the serious matters. Lena is from one of the branches of the royal family of the Fire Spirits. It's because of her support that I was able to establish the Southern tribe and stand against the other two princesses, Little E explained. Though the Southern tribe is on the decline, its power distribution is still fairly balanced, allowing it to compete with the other two tribes. Unfortunately, Alice set a trap this time and scattered our forces. If not for brothers stepping in, we would have likely lost the overall situation. Little E still looked anxious when she recalled it. What about your sacred flame embryo and reincarnation seal? Xiao Yan asked. And that purple flame of yours, its power should not be underestimated. Well, the sacred flame embryo will eventually become a new sacred flame. As for its power and rank, I can't be sure without entering reincarnation, but based on my estimation, the new sacred flame should rank around 20th on the sacred flame list, Little E explained candidly. As for the reincarnation seal and the purple flame, they are both related to the Fire Spirit clan. There is an ancient and precious sacred flame within the Fire Spirit clan, Little E added, her expression becoming strange as she spoke those words. Really? Xiao Yan was shocked. The Fire Spirit clan actually has a sacred flame passed down for generations? Because of the reincarnation seal, I can barely tap into some of the sacred flame's power. However, no one has been able to subdue the sacred flame in nearly 1,000 years. The Fire Spirit headquarters claims it so, but I suspect there's something hidden beneath the surface, Little E continued. I think this sacred flame has something wrong with it. Something wrong? Lena was surprised. Little E had never mentioned any of this to her before. I can't say for sure, but from the feedback from the reincarnation seal, I suspect this sacred flame holds some unknown secrets, Little E explained. I believe the elders at the Fire Spirit headquarters have deliberately made these claims to mislead others. Is that so? Lena asked, her face showing rare astonishment as she absorbed Little Ye's words. Among the elders of the tribe, there are some whose true identities are unclear. I'm doing this to preserve our last remaining strength, Little E said with a sigh, trying to convince Lena. Yes, I will pay special attention to this. By the way, aside from Alice from the Western tribe, there seems to be another tribe. Why haven't they made any moves recently? Xiao Yan asked, a serious expression on his face. This was the most pressing matter at hand. The three major tribes were vying for power, and the situation was dire. One wrong step could lead to an irreversible disaster. The Eastern tribe, our Southern tribe, is the weakest of the three major tribes. We have one at first-tier reincarnation, one at reincarnation level, and several others at mid-8-star Docian or approaching that level. However, in the other two tribes, although there is only one first-tier reincarnation elder, they have several powerful reincarnation warriors. Both princesses are at the first-tier reincarnation level as well. But Princess Qianqin of the Eastern tribe is always lost in her art of playing the guqin, chess, calligraphy, and painting. It seems like she has no interest in the competition for power. Little E shook her head, her eyes filled with a complicated expression. Knock, knock, knock. My lord, a letter from the Western tribe and Eastern tribe has arrived, along with a message from the elves. Please have a look. A warrior from the elven race knocked and handed Lena a beautifully crafted envelope before quickly leaving. 3 days from now, the Fire Spirit headquarters will jointly host a competition for candidates at the Elven Sacred Altar. Our three tribes can each send 3 strong warriors to participate. If any tribe loses all 3 of their members, they will forfeit their right to contend, Lena read aloud. The competition will be a round-robin style, one-on-one battle. The winner continues to face the next opponent, while the loser is eliminated. In the brief text, a heavy sense of suppression can be felt. Such brilliant tactics. The 3 of them finished reading the contents of the envelope, then murmured. In our tribe, there is only one reincarnation first-tier elder, and although his strength and experience are not as formidable as those of the other 2 tribes, he is still our tribe's last line of defense. Little E spoke with a grim expression, clearly troubled. This situation was likely something the other 2 tribes had intentionally planned. What about the exact strength of the other 2 tribes? Each tribe will send 3 people. If they have anyone at the second-tier reincarnation level or above, it could be troublesome. Xiao Yan nodded. He was well aware of the terrifying difference between the first and second-tier reincarnation levels. Even with his current abilities, he suspected he could only reach the first-tier reincarnation level. Facing someone at the second tier, his chances of winning were slim. There won't be any at the second tier, Little E explained. The power within the 3 major tribes has been built from our own ranks. Experts above the second tier should only exist in the Fire Spirit headquarters. In that case, this should be manageable. In our southern tribe, it will just be you, me, and that reincarnation first-tier elder. But I suspect this competition is likely aimed specifically at you and me. Xiao Yan shrugged, showing no fear. His eyes were filled with a strong fighting spirit. All right. You've been gone for so many years without contacting me. If it weren't for Jushin making decisions on his own, I wouldn't even know about your predicament. Bring the wine. Tonight, you'll have to drink 3 cups for your misdeeds. The 2 brothers, today, seemed intent on not leaving without getting drunk.